This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by one of boxing's biggest talents, Shakur Stevenson, here in LA. Shakur, it's good to see you. How is life treating you?
Life treating me good. Everything is going great, and I'm happy. I'm good.
Before we come on to yourself, obviously you're here to support your man Terence Crawford on Saturday night. Terence going in there 154, his first fight up there, and for many, Israel Madrimov is the best in that division. What does this say, in your opinion, about Terence and his mindset of wanting to challenge himself against the best as he continues to step up?
He just, I already know that Bud crazy. Every time I look at him, I think like he's a crazy guy. But making this decision to come up and fight this guy, just proves to me how crazy it is. And I think that the crazy guys are usually the greatest people in the world. And I think you need that crazy aspect, that risk taker, that drop your and go get it type mentality to be who he is today. So I respect it, and I can't wait to watch the fight.
You've explained that very well. Is Bud going to appreciate you calling him crazy, though?
I mean, I just keep it real, and I think that, like I said, my big brother is crazy.
Talk to me about that relationship you two have, because I've seen in past interviews, Bud's always spoken very highly of you. I know you have a very close bond. Even when you fought Jamal Herring, he had nothing but respect for yourself and he didn't want to start picking sides or nothing. What's that relationship like between the pair of you?
You got to realize I've been kind of around Bud since a long, long time now, and I've been his little brother. So like, if you go back, I'll give y'all something. You go back and watch his fight with Victor Postu. I wasn't even a professional yet. I was in the Olympics. But you'll see him call out, and he said, shout out to the Olympic team, and shout out to Shakur and everybody, and just made sure like he said my name. So we kind of been building that relationship since I was in the amateurs, and I appreciate him. I'm glad that I got to be around him. I'm glad that I can still be around him to this day and take my notes, learn from him, and he kind of brought my game to the highest level that it is now, and it's going to get even higher with him around. So I appreciate him.
I've seen yourself and I've seen Terence post in the past about some sparring experiences you've shared together. I'd love to get more of an insight into that and how technical of a spar that is.
It's very technical. The thing is, I'm a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. Sparring stays sparring. It stays in the gym. But what I will say is it's definitely high IQ level work, and I try to help him out to the best of my ability, and that's the whole point and purpose of it.
Just swinging back to Saturday night and this fight with Terence and Israel, how do you anticipate it unfolding?
I think this guy is a tough fighter. I seen him back in the amateurs. Definitely tough guy. He's going to come to win. But the situation is he's going against Bud Crawford, and when you're going against Bud Crawford, it's just a hard thing to deal with. Bud is willing to go to whatever level he's willing to take it to, and this guy's going to have to be on point every second of the fight, and it's going to be a tremendous fight.
Terence has had a lot of success against Eddie Hearn promoted fighters over the years. Israel's another one of those. But Eddie's kind of hopeful that maybe it's one weight too many now for Terence. What's your thoughts? I'm sure you've been in and around him. You've seen his physique settling in at 154 now. Do you think the weight will suit Terence? Do you think he might need to adapt a little bit?
Nah, I think he'll be okay. We done seen Bud move up from 35 to 40 to 47. So this ain't nothing new. It's just a bigger challenge, a bigger task. I expect him to go in there and do what he's been doing.
A potential fight with Canelo Alvarez has been touted, and at the minute he seems to be 168, no kind of catch weight being mentioned. If that was to happen, how do you think Terence would fare against Canelo Alvarez?
I think he'll beat Canelo. I think that Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's bigger. I think Bud's just a better boxer. I think that a lot of people are going to respect his boxing abilities if he can show it in front of Canelo Alvarez. And I honestly feel like he beats Canelo.
Shakur, onto yourself. Obviously, there's no doubt you're one of the boxing's hot kind of talents, if you will, one of the leading names in the sport. You're making your mind up as to where you go next.
This guy in the UK is a pimp.
I'll take that, buddy. I'll take it. Shakur, yeah, obviously there were some reports earlier this week. Yourself and Mr. Tank Davis had been in talks. I mean, I saw yourself and Tank come out and deny that completely. What can you tell me on that front? Have there been any conversations between your team, his team?
Yeah. Only thing that I heard was they was trying to. They want. I guess they wanted to make the fight, and we just told them to send an offer. We ain't hit nothing back yet, but like I said, that fight is gonna happen. I'm not gonna act like okay. I'm not gonna act like the fight is not gonna happen. Me and him is the best. We the best fighters coming up. Best fighters at the 135-pound division. Um, there's no way of the fight not happening. So I know fans want to scream and just say all of these things. This guy's ducking. This guy. They want to find a person to say that somebody's ducking. But I ain't scared to fight him. He's not scared to fight me. And it's gonna be a hell of a fight when the fight happens.
I have to ask Shakur then, you've still got a few months until that rumoured and touted November 23rd date. I know things would have to progress, and I imagine quite quickly for a fight of that magnitude. Is it still a possibility then, November 23rd, if terms could be agreed?
Yeah, definitely. If terms could be agreed and everything makes sense for him and me business-wise, the fight definitely could happen.
What did you make of Tank's victory against Frank Martin, and what holes do you feel you saw there you can exploit?
I wouldn't tell y'all the holes because that would be giving him my game plan.
To
But
try and get it out. Yeah.
nah, it's okay. I thought he looked real good against Frank Martin. I thought that it just was too high of a level for Frank Martin. I thought that Tank raised the level up, and Frank wasn't able to compete at that level. So, yeah.
Shakur, we've seen you box on the front foot, we've seen you box on the back foot, we've seen you be aggressive, we've seen you be a bit more kind of slick and defensive. Just with a Tank fight, how do you think you'd have to approach it?
I can't tell y'all. I don't know. Come fight night, I'm coming to do whatever it takes to get the victory. I can't tell y'all if I'm going forward, backwards, but I'm going to make sure that I'm fully prepared for the task at hand and to come out victorious.
When you look at potential fights in the sport that could be made, a fight between yourself and Tank, would you say that's the biggest potential fight?
That's the biggest fight in all of boxing. I don't think that is a fight bigger than me and Tank. Maybe Bud and Canelo is like right there, but truthfully, like we speaking skill for skill and fight fans, the fight that fight fans really want to see, people that appreciate boxing, people that love the sport of boxing. That's the fight. So yeah, I don't see no fight being bigger than that.
Away from Tank, I know that Bob Arum had previously mentioned that potential Lomachenko fight. Loma's not going to fight Tank now in November, but do you see yourselves crossing paths at some point, yourself and Vasiliy Lomachenko?
I mean, I think that it's been time for me and him to cross paths. I think that I always said that I thought Vasiliy Lomachenko was a hell of a fighter. He was somebody I looked up to coming up, and I watched a lot of his tapes and film and learned from him, but he kind of disappointed me with a lot of moves that he kind of been making since, as of recently, lately, and it just seemed like he don't want the fight to happen.
Shakur, I know you've been speaking with Mr. Eddie Hearn recently on a promotional front. What can you tell me about those discussions and just kind of Eddie's character? What stands out to you when you're sat there in a room with him or on the phone?
I like Eddie as who he is. I like who he is as a person. I respect him, like I said. But still, when we doing this, we gotta still know that I haven't made no decisions yet. No decision has been made yet. So that's what's important. I want that to get out there. But as far as Eddie, I appreciate him. I appreciate the way that he promotes me without even having me signed to a deal. And I appreciate him as a promoter in the sport of boxing because he's a good promoter. He don't talks down on a lot of the fighters, and he just speaks highly of them, and I think that's makes him one of the best.
Eddie has said that you've kind of given him some form of permission to maybe look and have a few talks with William Zepeda's team. Is that the case? You'd be happy to just kind of see what he could negotiate there if a deal could be agreed?
Like I said, I want to make the biggest and best fights happen. We'll see how it gets done. I can't really speak on the business aspect of it. I mean, they probably go out there and say some things, but me, I'm gonna keep it tight, keep everything closed, and I would love to see how everything unfolds itself. I want to see where do I end up and what fight end up happening next, and I just want to make the right business moves. So.
Shakur, before I let you go, there's 2 fights I want to ask you on. 2 fights I imagine you'll be watching very closely. Firstly, Dmitry Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, undisputed crown, unbelievable fight. What do you make of it? What happens when they share the ring?
Hell of a fight, hell of a fight. Like I said when I was speaking, how like me and Tank is like the biggest, and from a popularity standpoint, we're a lot bigger than that fight. But like from a skills standpoint, we are just as that fight too. But that fight is kind of up there too, in my opinion, because Artur Beterbiev is the big puncher, the monster, the boogeyman, and then you got Bivol, who's a hell of a boxer. Controls distance well, barely gets touched, got great feet. I think that fight is kind of up there as like skillful, one of the best fights to me.
Do you have somebody in mind who you think would win?
I like Bivol. I think that Bivol feet work, conditioning, his good jab that he got, I think it's going to control the fight. I think Beterbiev got boxing skills that people don't realize too, with his feet and his jab too. He got a good jab too. So, truthfully, I think that it's going to be a hell of a fight, but I'm picking Bivol to win.
And just a final one, Usyk-Fury 2 on December 21st. Do you expect to see a repeat or revenge?
Nah, I think it's going to go the other way the next fight. I think that Fury wins. I think that Fury had that fight won. I thought that, I don't know about the conditioning, but I thought he kind of tired down. And once he kind of tired down, Usyk took his opportunity, hurt him, and took control of the fight. But truthfully, it could have went like this. Like, that was a fight where it's like, if they gave it to Fury, we probably would have never been mad. If they made it a draw, we probably would have never been mad. I thought that fight was just like this. I think that the next time Fury fights him, if he know that he can do what he did early on in the fight, I think that he will try to continue to do that and a little bit more at the next fight.
Shakur, listen, I appreciate your time now. I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. Go catch up with the team. I look forward to seeing a fight announcement soon, and hopefully I'll be here to cover that. So thank you.
Thank you.